Okay, this is Miss Whitaker, and I want to go over some of the homework that you've got for tonight on proportions and percentages. So I'm going to do a problem for proportions just to give you a reminder of how to work those out. Let's start with number 3 on the first page of the solving proportions. So we've got r plus 2 over 7 is equal to 5 over 7. Now this is just like your proportions that you've worked before. We're going to use the cross products to solve. This time we just have a little bit more than just single digits, so we've got to multiply our cross product. So let's multiply the 7 times the r plus 2. That's going to look like this. And that's equal to 7 times 5. Now this looks like distribution. We're going to distribute these, so that becomes 7r plus 14. Please do not forget to distribute out that second digit right there in the parentheses. That is equal to 35. Now it's just a two-step equation, so I need to isolate my r. So I'm going to subtract 14 from both sides. So that's my first step. 7r is equal to 21. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 7, and r is equal to 3. Then you can go back and check your answer. If you plug it back up here at the top, right up here, if you put a 3 here, 3 plus 2 is 5 over 7 equals 5 over 7, and you're good. All right. I'm going to go over these percent problems quickly and give you the answers and a little bit of how you set up these problems, just in case you forgot how to do percents from previous years. All right, so number 1, Amy bought supplies to build a go-kart. The supplies totaled $189, and the sales tax rate is 7%. Sales tax is what a county and a city and a state charges to fund the government, your government employees, but this is just 7% of your sales. So how much money will she pay in taxes? So we're going to have to find 7% of 189. So I can do this a couple of ways. One way is to use a percent proportion. So you do the percent over 100 equals part of the whole. If you'll write that down, because if you forgot how to do that, that's just a really handy proportion that you can find percent of a number. So I would just plug in what I know. I know the sales tax rate is 7%. So instead of percent, I've got 7 over 100. And then the 189 represents the whole. And I'm looking for that dollar amount that represents this percentage. So this represents this. This represents 100%. So I'm going to use my cross products. 100x is equal to 189 times 7. So that's one way you could do this, and then get your answer and divide by 100 on both sides. All right, another way to do it is to find the percent of a number is to multiply by the decimal equivalent. So I want you to know both ways how to do this. So I'm taking my whole, and I'm going to multiply by the decimal equivalent of 7%. Make sure you know how to do that. The decimal equivalent of 7% is 0.07. So if I multiply it by 0.07, and I should get how much I pay in taxes. That dollar amount should be $13.23. So that answers that part. And then I'm going to need to add to the cost of the original amount, the 189. So you should have a total amount, or X, is equal to 189 plus 189 times 0.07. And so you should get an answer of $202.23. So $202.23 for number 1. All right, number 2. A bicycle normally sells for $520, is on sale with a 30% discount. What's the sale price? Not the discount, the sale price. So really I'm looking at my price of $520 and subtracting 30%, or 0.30 of 520, would give me my sale price of the bike. So if I set it up this way, let's find out what 520 times 0.30 is. And I'm just going to do 0.3. And I believe that comes out to 156. So that's my discount. So if I do 520 minus 156, That should give me my sale price. So that is $3.64. So that's the sale price. But then it says, what's the total cost including a 5% sales tax? So find 5% of $3.64. Go ahead and do your $3.64 times 0.05, your decimal equivalent, and you should get $18.20. So I'm going to add $3.64 plus $18.20 to get a total of $382.20. That's number 2. Number 3, the electric company raised rates 1.5%. If Lori's monthly electric bill was $210 a month, how much more money is she spending on electricity? So just find 1.5% of $210. Of means multiply. So I can do 210 times 0.015. That's one way to find it. Or I can do 1.5 over 100 equals part over the whole, or just make it x, over 210, and do my cross products to solve. Either way, you should get $3.15. That's going to be the increase. So the new monthly bill would be $213.15, adding that increase. All right, number 5. Number of students attended a volleyball game last week was 75. I'm sorry, let's go back to 4. I didn't do 4. The price of a movie increased from $7 to $7.80. What was the percent increase? Okay, I'm back. Price of a movie increased from $7 to $7.80. What was the percent increase in the price of the movie? So to find the percent of increase, or the percent of change, you find that how much did it change from the beginning to the second number, and then put that over the original amount. That's the amount of change over the original amount. Now, if you are using percent bars, your percent bar is just a way to help you solve the percentage. So this is 0%. This goes up to 100%. That 100% was $7, but it's going up to $7.80. So we're going to go out a little bit here to $7.80. And I'm looking for that X right there. So I can use this as a proportion, just going this over this equals this over this. So that would be 7 over 780 is equal to 100, because the 7% represents your 100% over X. And then you should find that there is, it gets up to 111.43. So that percentage right here would be at 111.43, and you just need to find the difference between the two. And so it's approximately, because this had a decimal involved, so you may use a calculator to check. So if you find the difference, so this difference right here is X, so that should be 11.43%. Or if I did it up here with the amount of change over the original amount, it's 0.80 over the $7 equals percent over 100. And you'll still get 11.43% for that percentage of the change right there. All right, let's look at number 5. Number of students attended a volleyball game last week was 75. This week, 61 students attended. What's the percent decrease? So again, if I do the amount of the change, that amount of change was 14. The original amount was 75. And I will set that equal to percent over 100 to find out what that percent of the change was. Okay, so then I'm just going to use my cross products to solve. And you should get an answer up here of 18.67%. If I did a percent bar, start with a 0% to 100%. My 100% was 75, and now it's 61. So it's going to be a little less. So if I did 61 over 75, this over this, this over this, and you'll find out what that percentage is, And I believe it came out to something like 70 or 81, 82, something like that. So once you find that percentage, you subtract it from the 100. You should get the total of 18.67%. All right, last problem. A dog run is rectangular and has dimensions of 4 feet by 8 feet. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is draw a rectangle. 4 feet by 8 feet. Maria wants to increase the perimeter 40%. What will the new perimeter be? All right, well, we can set the dimensions and do a 40% increase of the dimensions, which this adds 1.6, this adds 3.2, and then find the new perimeter, or I can find the perimeter of the original, which is 4 plus 4, which is 8. 8 plus 8, 16, so that's 24. And do 24 times 0.40 or 0.4 to get that increase. So you're looking for 40% of 24 basically. And I can just multiply by the decimal equivalent. And that should give you, let's see, 9.6. And I just need to add that to the 24 because that's the increase. So 24 plus 9.6 should give you 33.6 feet as your answer for the new perimeter that has a 40% increase. All right, so just a refresher on percents, and then you've got your proportions when you're adding in the distributive property. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.